You know, there are consequences that come along with being with a uncommitted man. And those consequences are not always peachy. Nah, because I'm telling you, it's really rough. And I think society has set our women up to believe that they are super women and that they can, you know how they say, I'm superwoman, I'm super strong, I do everything. But yes, ma'am, you do everything, but you are doing it one-sided. And we was not created to do things one-sided. So when you get into an uncommitted relationship, it's that wear and tear on your mind, on your brain, that over time is going to cause some mental health challenges, if not already. So I want to just go and tell you some of the consequences of being with an uncommitted man. First of all, you need to know, honey, the relationship will never be equal. Never. Because he's uncommitted to you. Because he's not emotionally available nor attached to you. So that means that he does not really have a true sense of care for you. He does not have your best interest at heart. The next thing, you're going to always be the giver in this relationship or situationship, as I call it. You're going to always be the giver. If you get something out of them, you just take it as a blessing. Because most of the time when these guys are uncommitted, they are not interested in even buying you a soda, even if it's 50 cents. You have to go and get the stuff yourself. You got to pump your own gas, all that stuff. So they really don't have a true sense of wanting to help you do anything. It's up to you to recognize that as well. So you're going to always be the giver, just going to, you know, give away your emotions, your time, your love, going to give away your strength, your identity. Women are losing their identity. Imagine over time, after this guy's played your mind for 5-6 years, sometimes 6 months to a year, and you lose it, and you come out of this relationship not the same way that you went in. Women that come out of these relationships like this, they come out wounded, emotionally damaged, and it's hard to get it back. They come out with PTSD. They come out, some of them come out bipolar. Some of them come out with multiple personality disorders. You know, so it's definitely something to think about. Another thing is, he's just never going to be into you. And I know you think you can pray him into loving you and stand by his side. I cannot stand that word, that phrase, ride or die chick, because it's true. You can ride, but you're surely going to die if you're with an uncommitted man. Because that man, he's not coming for you. You can call and say, my lights is getting ready to cut off. And he going to say, oh, wow, I'm sorry about that. And that's all he's going to say. And you might not see him for a couple of days, but he'll be back as soon as he knows that everything is straight about the light bill and stuff. As soon as he knows you got that car payment in. As soon as he sees that you have handled business, that you have taken care of the business, he will be back. All right. The next thing is, you're going to be trying to prove yourself forever to this man, because you're just never going to feel good enough. And he's always going to make sure that he says little sly, slick things to make you realize that you're not all that. But yet, I'm going to keep you hanging on. There is a little bit of benefit in you. So I'm going to keep you just a little bit. Okay, so he's going to make you prove yourself. And meanwhile, while you're trying to prove yourself, you're going to also be developing anxiety, depression, and you will feel more like you have a business arrangement versus a wholesome relationship, a lovable relationship, a trustworthy relationship. It's going to feel like you always got to negotiate with this man. Why am I always negotiating with him? Because sis, he don't care about you. He does not care about you. And it's hard for you to believe, but truly there are some men out here who just are not going to commit. Another thing about being with the uncommitted man is you have less power because you have given it away. It's not that you don't have the power within, but you chose to dummy down to be with a clown, basically. So you have less power at this point in your life. because now he's pulling all the strings. Nothing is 50-50. When you're with someone uncommitted, nothing is 50-50. They're going to take all that you have, drain you of everything that you have. And you know, one thing I found out about guys who like to not define the relationship, they don't define it because they have other women. They have other women that, you know, they could just hop around to, and hey, nothing to it. Okay, the next thing is you're going to lose your voice. When you allow an uncommitted man to come into your household and dictate and rule everything about you, rule your emotions, make your emotions go from here, happy, to sad. When he has that power over you, you lose your voice. When you lose your voice, that's when you start feeling the depression, and you start also going through changes in your body. You stop eating at times because you feel like you're too fat, and you know, you're constantly checking the mirror to make sure that you are beautiful and stuff, and you're constantly, you know, just jumping through hoops to keep this man. And reality is, you can't keep a man that does not want to be kept. If he really wants you, he's going to commit to you. You cannot force somebody to have your best interest at hand. I know it seems easy, and you know, I say this all the time. Back in the days, we saw our mothers and fathers and some aunties and uncles that were going through this same thing. And we didn't know what it was back then, but now that we do know what it is, we have to take the time to look within ourselves and say, is this what I really want? Is this the type of relationship I really imagine myself being in? I don't care how fine he is. You can find another fine man. The thing is, if he's uncommitted to you, that means you are wasting your time. And since we don't know what the future holds, why are you going to waste your time? So I would say, these consequences, if this is not enough, the ultimate consequence is when you get to the brink and the point of feeling so worthless that you want to take your own life to try to prove a point to him. I know women right today that I have worked with for years, and these women got to the point where they could not take what the man was doing to them. See, the man was uncommitted, but they was willing to stay in that uncommitted relationship. And so what ended up happening was, over time, it just wore them down. They started feeling worthless, having low self-esteem, having nightmares, and they wanted to kill themselves. They was tired of it. They got tired of begging for love and affection from a guy that was not capable of giving it to them. And I think women need to be really honest with themselves. If you really look at who you're sleeping next to, he may be a virus. He may be a virus spreading from woman to woman. Really, examine who you're with. If you feel like this guy that you're with is causing too much emotional toil on you, you don't have to stay in that relationship. You always have a way out. But you got to take your power back in order to get that way out. You can't sit around and let these things build up, these consequences build up on you. At the end of the day, he's not feeling it. You are. Because remember, he's unattached. And another thing too, some women go in with the tears and crying, and they try to hurt themselves. They don't really want to hurt themselves, but they want that attention. They need that attention from him, but he's not going to give it to you, baby, because he's not committed to you. He's not committed. Ladies, it's 2021, and you have got to take responsibility for your own mental well-being. You got to take responsibility for your physical being. You have to take responsibility for everything that goes on in your life, including being in a relationship or situationship with an uncommitted man. This is your life. You have the right to make those decisions. And I would say it is best to get up out of those relationships ASAP. Run. If he can't commit to you,